Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today I have a shaker card featuring the September Simon Says Stamp card kit. It comes with these great little 3x4 acetate cards that have some see-through element to them. There's a whole package of them in the kit, and I thought it would be fun to use that as the window to my shaker card. So I have the stitched rectangle dies from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to use a couple of these to die cut the 6x6 pattern paper, or one of the 6x6 pattern papers in the kit. And I'm kind of playing around with different combinations of the rectangles. The smallest one needs to be just slightly smaller than the acetate card itself. And then I wanted more of that pattern to show, so I'm using the largest one to create my frame. If you wanted a skinnier frame, you could definitely use that one that's in between these two sizes. But I really liked all of the colors in this frame, and so I wanted to get as much of those as possible so that they would all kind of show up a little bit more on the outside of that. So there's kind of what it's going to look like. I'm going to take the largest then of those two frames I used, and I'm going to cut another piece from a scrap piece of white cardstock. This is going to be the backer to my shaker, and I'm also going to keep that inside piece that I die cut there from the center, and I'm going to flip it over actually and use that as the inside of the shaker itself. Now I'm using a nice strong adhesive around the the opening there, the four sides of the opening, because I want my acetate piece to really stick. So I'm going to make sure I have that lined up right. I'm going to go ahead and press that down into the adhesive, flip that over and check it. And then there's that piece that is actually the back of this panel, but I really liked how it looked for the inside of my shaker, just to give it a nice little contrast. I like the little text on it and the flowers and all the little confetti type look to that. I'm going to just carefully kind of line that up then on the backer paper, that white cardstock that I die cut, so that it is exactly behind where the opening is. It would have been smart if I had actually lined that up with the frame before I placed the acetate behind it, but I forgot. So that's just another way you can do that if you forget like I did. I am going to take foam tape now and just put that right up next to each other on all four sides of this frame, and I'm actually going to double it up. So I put one layer down, and then I'm going to take my foam tape again and place another whole layer around all four sides. If I'm using shaker material like sequins or something that's a little bit bulkier, I find with this particular foam tape that I prefer when it's doubled up. It gives that shaker material just a little bit more room to move. Once I have all four of those sides cut and in place, I'm going to take a powder tool and run that along the inside edge of all four sides of that foam tape. This is going to help get rid of some of that stickiness and hopefully help eliminate those sequins from sticking to the sides of the shaker. I'm going to use some pretty pink Posh sequins here. I'm using some awesome iridescent ones plus my favorite sparkling clear. I'm going to use pink and then kind of a greenish color, and then I'll use, those are both 6mm size, and then I'll use the 4mm size in the sparkling clear. I always like the sparkling clear. Then I can go ahead and remove the backing paper for the foam tape, and then I'm going to want to take my backing to the shaker itself. You don't want to flip the shaker over, you'll lose all your shaker material. Press that in place, flip it over, and there is my great little shaker card. Now this would be great left as is if you want to. It's a super fast shaker card. You could do this with lots of the different 3x4 cards included in the September kit. But I decided to take the stamp set included in the kit, and I'm going to stamp a couple of the balloons. For this blue balloon, I'm using a couple of colors of Simon Says Stamp, kind of aqua colored inks, and I'm using the rock and roll technique to get a kind of two-tone balloon. Because the stamp hadn't been used before, I didn't think my first couple of tries were all that good. I'm starting with the lighter color and then kind of rolling on the darker color just along the edge. For this one, I decided to go back with my lighter color, and it did help blend it out a little bit better. For my small balloon, I'm going to be using the Doll Pink ink. I tried a couple of other combinations and you can see those did not work at all, so I just decided to go with a solid color. And then there's an outline for these balloons, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp the outline in black ink around both the large and small balloons, and then I can cut those out with my scissors. On another scrap of paper, I am going to stamp the balloon string, and then there's a little bow or tie, and I'm going to stamp that right at the top of both of these. And then I'm going to simply cut those out with my scissors, glue the balloons in place onto the front of my shaker card, and then glue the balloon and balloon string in place right there as well. And that's just going to dress up the front of my shaker and really finish it off. You can see I trimmed off a little bit of that balloon string along the bottom so that it lines up perfectly with the bottom of the shaker card. And sorry, I'm a little bit out of the screen here. I'll move that down so you can see what that looks like a little bit better. So cute. Go ahead and glue the pink balloon in place. Do the same thing there, and then glue the balloon string in place for this one as well, doing the same thing, trimming off the excess along the bottom of the shaker card. And that is going to finish up this card design. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Simon Says Stamp September 2015 card kit. The supplies I've used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Please subscribe for weekly card making and stamping videos. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.